Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. As you know, in this line of videos I'm trying to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. My city is called Bedrock, and in the previous episode I had changed up my roads and I started bragging about how my traffic was perfect. Well, it was perfect, but it actually was not right because I had actually forgot to make some connections that were very important. If you have seen my previous episode, you know that the highest import into my city comes from here. And if I look at the overview for the import, I see that I'm supposed to import 4,401 item from the region. But I do not have a connection that leads from here into this part of the city, which is the part of the city with the highest import rate. And that is why I have all these icons showing me that my commercial buildings want to go abandoned because they do not have goods to sell. Now I am working on that, trying to have industry here which is going to produce goods, and I've already reduced the amount that needs to be imported from the region, but still I need to get this connection back. So what I need to do is first disconnect this part here and have it connect from about here, something like this. While over here I need to connect into this part, which means that this entrance will also have to be a little bit different. And from here I need to go into that area. I need to have my services have a clear shot from one part of the city to the other one. Oh damn, I had this problem before. The services need, like I said, a clear shot from this part of the city into the new part, because you can stop them from heading from one part of the city to the other one, so you have to allow it. Plus the cargo trucks that are importing and exporting between the two areas of the city also need a straight up connection. Oh, come on with the slopes. For crying out loud. I don't want it to go like that. This connection should connect a little bit later on. There. That's what I was trying to achieve. So now the service vehicles from this part of the city can jump right in to this one, while anything that's exported from here can go into here, and whatever is exported from here up to here can go through here. They also have a connection from this side into this and then into this, and there are exits that lead from here to this part, and from here bringing the traffic into this part of the city. There is also this part over here, which is not gonna see much use until this part of the city gets built up as well. Now this wasn't the only change that I have to do. I also have to buy this plot of area here and also build a cargo train terminal here. For that I will need to get some roads first, plop them here, bulldoze this edge, do not connect, there we go. I'm turning the road down here because any trucks that want to come out of this terminal will turn onto the right side, so this should be a one-way into the right side. Now I need to connect through here with the rail system. I need a curvy road, and that's a connection there. I need another connection here. That's done. Now to connect this back up, up to about here, page up to go over the railway. This needs to be bulldozed, page down, connected, and this part has to go over. So that would be like this. And that's done. Up to here, a road needs to lead into, so like this. And from here it goes into this road. Now the industry here, it is developing. I do have more of a demand and also the demand for more commercial. Now the question is just how much industry would be enough. I am going to give it one more zone like this, and that should be enough when it comes to the industry that's going to be producing goods. After this I can have more commercial that's gonna spend those goods, and then I can have like a line of offices and lots of residential. So 4 would be one neighborhood, another 4 would be second, another 4 would be third neighborhood. For now I will leave all of this alone. I just need to check the park coverage and the services coverage, education coverage, crime and fire. Alright, so I would need a new school, a new elementary school. And no doubt that I would also need more capacity for garbage, but not right now. As for power, it seems to be okay. The train cargo station will need both power and water. So let's connect that and bring some power to it. Over here it's all connected up, although I could use another entrance into these areas. At the moment it's gonna be temporary, but we'll see what happens with these zones as they develop up. Oh my god, that is ugly. No. No. Dear God. So ugly. Oh my god. There's probably a hill here. Yep, that was the reason. Okay, and now that I'm done with this, just one more additional thing needs to be done. The reason why I bought this piece of land here is to have an off-ramp about here, going like this, and then a straight road going like this. It's gonna go over the railway, and now it's not. Okay, back a little bit. Now it will connect into here and bring the importing traffic from here, instead of it going through here into this area and then up here. It's gonna have a straight shot from here to here. Alright, that's all connected up. The power should be enough, but just in case I will turn on one more advanced wind turbine. Now, as I look at the import, I am trying to achieve the smallest amount of import possible, and I want my economy to be self-sustaining. What that means is that I want the agriculture and my forestry to produce enough goods, raw materials for my factories to produce goods which are going to be used in the commercial areas. As you can see here, none of the commercial areas in here are importing any goods whatsoever, and they are even using the policy for small business enthusiasts, which means that they are using double the amount of goods that they would normally be using. While up here you will notice that still a lot of these high density zones that are commercial zones are importing, and the reason why they are going abandoned is because they cannot import enough to sell. I had even turned off the policy for big business enthusiasts to reduce the amount of goods that they require, but still they require more. Now hopefully this will be fixed as soon as my factories here start producing those goods, and I should see a total import number go down, and especially this purple area, which means goods, it should go down a lot. What this will do is also reduce the amount of traffic that's coming into my city, and I will have just local traffic going from factories to commercial areas and from other factories to other commercial areas. Now the total import might go up a little bit as the new commercial zone goes up, but as the new factories goes up, and they will also level up very quickly. You see they are already at level 2, some may even go up to level 3, because I have given them a cargo train terminal. They're covered by pretty much every service that there is, and good coverage at that, so they should level up pretty quickly and start producing a lot of goods. I am also using the policy for industrial space planning, which increases the amount of goods that they can produce. So we'll keep an eye on this number and also on the color of these shops. Alright, more going abandoned, like I said, expected until this is fixed up with everything that I've changed. There are no problems with services anymore. That problem was fixed by allowing my teams to have exits from one part of the city to the other one fairly quickly. For example, the services can go through here. It's a one-way, so the industry trucks are very rarely using it, just to try and go from one side to the other one, but they are not using it as a shortcut to get onto these highways. And as for the services coming from this area, they have a quick way out here, then also through here, and they can go back into here. And if they used this one, they can just keep on going forward until they reach this point and get in through here, depending on from which side of the city they came, and came up here through here to come into this part. That is how I've found a way to solve the problem with service vehicles going from one part of the city to the other one. Now, this road here, the off-ramp, is soon going to be filled with traffic, which is, yeah, you see the import went up because of the new high-density commercial areas, and also, of course, these factories here will need to import the actual oil products and ore products to make goods, but sooner or later this should balance out so that the amount of goods produced locally will be much higher and the amount of goods imported will be much lower. And like I said, this will mean that there will be a lot less traffic trying to come into the city with these delivery trucks, and that should help fix the problem with traffic that usually shows up. Now I am still good when it comes to the budget. I haven't checked it in a long time. I still am paying more for the fire services, for the police, and for the health services. I had reduced it down back to 100. I do have a lot of money and I could increase this a little bit more. Same with this one. Same with education. Same with parks. And this should improve on every area. Also, I may want to increase the amount of money I'm giving to the buses, the trains, and the boats, so that there are going to be more of them coming in and going and transporting the goods. However, here we go. Total imports have now gone down to just under 5,000. They were almost 5,700 previously. Now I am still importing some agricultural goods, and I am also exporting them, which is kind of strange when I look at it. I mean, this area here is importing the agricultural products, but they are agricultural industry, which has me wondering, why are they importing? So it must be that some of these buildings are actually importing the raw, as would be like these animals, and then they're producing like something that's half a product, and then that can be exported or sent to the generic industry for the factories to produce goods out of it. So I'm not yet clear exactly on how does that work, because you can see that it shows up both on the export and the import. So these buildings are both importing and exporting, while for example some of the factories, you will notice, they might export, but they are not importing, while the others may be doing both importing and exporting. So if you want to achieve nice traffic in your city, you may want to try and achieve a good balance between the import and the export. For example, my export of forestry goods is huge because of course I have so much forestry industry. But my import is huge because I have so many commercial buildings that are even going abandoned, because not even this much of goods is enough for them at the moment. So I believe that trying to reach a good traffic requires balancing out the import and export. Well, like I told you, that the street was gonna get filled up with traffic, and this will require some playing around, or maybe just waiting for the industry to start producing way more and balance this out. When it comes to the unemployment, I am at 3%, and there is still room to grow here for the residential areas, so that should be alright for the moment. Why would you be going abandoned? Not enough workers. Yeah, I am still waiting for more workers to make sure that these factories can operate properly, and they should level up fairly quickly. Like I said, most of them are already at level 2, only the new ones are at level 1. And to go up to level 3, I believe I would have to add a bus route. Well, there is already a bus route very close to them, and they have already all the services, they have all the educated workers that I can give them. The imports are down to 3,600, the exports are at 5,000, and I'm even exporting some goods. Yeah, these guys are exporting, while the commercial areas right next to them are still importing. So I think that needs to balance itself out, so that instead of them exporting the goods, they should just sell the goods inside of my city, and that should reduce the amount of traffic going in and out from the city. Of course, that will mean that they will import more ore and oil, but I think they import a very little ore and oil compared to how much they can produce in goods. Plus, with the industrial space planning, that should increase the amount that they can produce by 100%. Alright, how am I with power? Alright, with water, same. These areas are all covered properly. Now I could just add maybe a park up here so that my residential areas can grow better. And go green. There we go, excellent. I did have some power lines stretched here, which I no longer need. Well, these I do need actually. And how's the traffic? Still a very long line. Whoa, all the way to there. That is insane. Well, over here you will notice there's almost no traffic. I mean, I might even try making it so that they can go from, if they're coming in from here, they should have a way to get to here and then from here to go into here, so that would maybe reduce the amount of traffic that's trying to go through here. Yeah, that could definitely help with that. And I'm wondering, should I even give them a way to go from here into here and then from here again into actually that was stupid, but not in a bad way. These guys, if they want to go through here, they can't really import down to this part of the city, so actually it's a good thing that they can go in here and then turn into here. Yeah, I was actually missing that connection because it wasn't anywhere over here. So yeah, I was missing that connection from there to go from this part of the outside area into this one and then into here. So even from mistakes, sometimes good things can happen. Okay, so here at the moment there is still a huge jam at the cargo train terminal because all of these guys are trying to export through here. What? I burned down. Let's see the imports down to just 3,000. Excellent. And you see the goods are no longer being like 3/4, they're now just half of the imports. So that's excellent. And the industry is now supplying almost all of my high density commercial with goods. That is exactly what I was trying to achieve. Now this traffic is still horrendous, but I think it just needs some time to work itself out because I've made so many changes, and the trucks that are here at the moment started their journey way before I made those changes. So that should just be ran at speed 3 and let the traffic run its course and fix itself out. At least I think it's gonna fix itself out, and like I said, I am going to need a new incinerator up here for all the trash that I'm creating over here. Alright, now I believe that... Alright, I was afraid that I was gonna have some problems with how I had zoned this forestry industry onto these streets that I call the traffic flow streets, and yes, they are creating a problem. So what I will need to do is dezone and bulldoze and do same thing over and over again until all of these areas are clear of traffic, because once a vehicle stops here to make a delivery or pick up goods, it simply blocks all traffic on the street, and that is unacceptable. Alright, that has taken care of that. Down here I do have a similar issue, but until I see a big problem with the traffic, I won't go and touch that. Alright, Colossal City, 42,000 sims. I've unlocked the nuclear power plant, which cost an arm and a leg, I believe. Yeah, 250,000 and 10,000 per week, but the output is 640 megawatts. As for just how useful that would be, I will have to leave for later testing. What's going on with the trains? They're blocking each other when they stop here. Hopefully that will work itself out, just as I'm hoping the traffic will. Still a big jam here. How's the import and export? Down to 2,359. Goods are down even more, though I am importing now some agricultural products for this industry to operate. Now I'm thinking I could solve that issue by adding some agriculture industry of my own. I do remember having some agricultural spaces here, which I remade into generics. So again, they are going to be remade, and hopefully now that they become agriculture, I will reduce my import of agriculture goods because I will have them produced locally. Alright, well, this area over here isn't really going to have any agricultural production buildings, so it might as well be offices. Well, this area here should be able to produce. Some more agricultural goods, even this area over here it seems. Yep. Could do with some more agriculture zones here. Alright, now that that's taken care of, this spot here isn't the best. This road may need some further changing, but for the moment I'll leave it alone. Let me see how's the traffic in other areas. Very good in here, no problems that I can spot. And up here, has it worked itself out? Not yet. Like I said, it may take a while. The total imports are down to 2,174. Goods are now down to a quarter, even less perhaps. But the agricultural products are way up. That will need to be checked. I am even producing more goods than I'm spending. So in that case, what I could do is find this area here. This is the forestry area, not the one that I am aiming for. The one I'm aiming for is this one, in which I will now use big business benefactor once again to double their sales. And what I should see now is a drop in the export of goods because they will be used locally. So I want to see this go down to about, let's say, 6,000. This little piece here to go away, and the goods to be sold at these shops, which should also increase my profit from my taxes in the commercial areas. But the exports are still not going down, they're actually going up. What I would like to see is the goods go away as an export and be used locally. How is the import-export now? The agricultural products are taking up more and more of this pie, but the total imports are very low, while the exports keep going up. Huh. Very interesting. How's the traffic? It's finally starting to clear up. You will notice that it isn't starting from here anymore, it's starting from here. So yeah, it is just taking a very long time to clear up. As for the other streets, there is a lot of traffic here because of this traffic that's coming off from the cargo train terminal. That could be solved in a matter of seconds, depending on if I hit the right streets and give them options to use other streets and not just this one. As for the other streets, everything seems to be in order. They may be red, but the traffic is very low in them. So how is the import and export now? Still very high export. It seems that I'm producing a lot of goods, and no matter how many big business benefactors I turn on for the commercial areas, I still am producing enough to even export. And they are not even at level 3. Not even sure what would happen if they were to reach level 3. Would they even produce more? Maybe I should try disabling this. Let's see what happens now. Well, I've definitely reduced my total imports by, I don't know, 3,000-4,000, but I've also increased my exports by almost as much, which is not exactly what I had in mind. I wanted to reduce the overall traffic, not just turn it from the import to export. Although the export is kind of easier for my traffic than the import. And this thing has finally reached the corner before it is clearing up. Yeah, connecting here had the desired effect to reduce some of the traffic on this one. Well, I guess it will require playing a little bit more with this before I manage to figure it out. In any event, I'm pretty happy with how the city is functioning at the moment. This traffic jam, yes, I know it's still huge, but it should fix itself up, as I did get rid of a lot of the import by creating my own goods. I am exporting a lot more, but I'm hoping that they export by using the terminals and not the roads. Some of them are using the roads, but not that many. It's kind of interesting to see this. Oh, I see. They are exporting, but they have to actually return to the facility. So yes, these guys are creating part of the traffic problem. They are the exporters, but when they are coming back, they use this road through here. So not only do I need to reduce my import, I also need to make sure to balance out my exports as well. But the problem is that my demand for industry is going up, but I believe that can be reduced with additional offices instead of the goods producing buildings. So what I did actually was to overdo it with the industry that's over here. So what I should do is remove this much industry and switch it for offices as the industry that does not import or export. And I believe this will finally fix the problem of too much import or export. I'll just wait to see what happens. This should finally drop down and the exports should go down. As these parts are also exporting, as it seems, I will turn off their policies to be creating more goods, and hopefully that should reduce the number of the buildings that are exporting. I think the SPY has finally gone down when it comes to the goods, and from 6,800 we are down to 6,700. Not a big change, but I think it will change over time to even more. There we go, 6,600. And as fewer of these industrial buildings export, there will be less traffic. Alright, so now I know another key aspect of managing traffic. It is to manage the import and exports. And how's the traffic? Well, it's getting better and better. This jam here is getting shorter and shorter, which means that I'm doing something right. Alright, this video has probably gone on long enough. I think I'm happy with how much progress I've made in this video, not just by expanding, but by managing the traffic and the industry. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again in the next episode.